The next station is.
Heyo, it is the Public Access Rundown. I am your co-host, Fariz, and this is my co-host.
In this episode, I'm self-proclaimed Hollywood beauty, Hana.
You are damn right, Hollywood Beauty Hana, because this episode is technically a part 2. So if you didn't watch part 1, just go back and rewatch it. It's fine. It's right there. It's on the same playlist. Just go at it. So we were talking about Bollywood actors and their huge titles.
Yep.
And some of you might be wondering why I titled the episode "The Bollywood Paradox." So here's the thing, right? So hot take alert. So this may or may not ruffle some feathers, and I may or may not be crucified because of exactly what I'm about to say.
Widow time!
So if you want to give Hana my half of whatever we're worth as a couple, just kill me. So here's the thing. We were just talking about how certain Bollywood actors are so huge. What I would call the A-listers, they're so huge that they don't get on a list. They become straight up titles.
Yep.
They get names like the big one now because of the new GOAT movie is The Commander. There is Superstar, which to me is the worst one. That one's just lazy, honestly.
Oh, you're going to piss off the crowd.
So here's the thing. Here's the paradox, right? When it comes to huge actors outside of Bollywood, so that means Hollywood, because that's the only other half of the planet, these people, these huge names are usually celebrated because of their range. So, like Bautista, I think is a very good thing. He started as a wrestler.
Oh, Dave.
Dave Bautista. He was a wrestler, and we all know the WWF's entire thing. He was huge, he was bombastic, he's buff, he's muscular. But then he kind of decided that he wanted more. So I want to say his first big role was as Drax the Destroyer in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
And he was fantastic in that. And he's really big into it. He wants to move on from wrestling. He misses it. He loves it. He's not going to shun away from it.
Yep.
But he moves away from it to kind of become a more in-depth actor.
Like, what's his name? John Cena?
Like John Cena. Same thing like John Cena. Except I think John Cena is more comical, I think.
Which is
I can't think of a
funny.
single serious role he's been in. I mean, it's fine. He seems to be enjoying himself. It's fine.
Yep.
And the "you can't see me" joke still carries on till this day. So, it's fine.
Yep.
It's fine. But there's another wrestler who gets a lot of flack for becoming an actor. And that is
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Lilo and Stitch legend Dwayne the Pebble Johnson.
Lilo and
Because
Stitch.
he's Samoan. Yeah. So he gets a lot of flack, from me included, I think, where a lot of people would say that his roles and his acting as a result is very same.
Yep.
Same. Which is
Typecast.
Which is to say he's typecast as big, strong, bald man. And he gets a lot of flack for it.
He used to just be Vin Diesel.
He's,
But even he
I forgot
acted in
about
The
Vin Diesel.
Pacifier.
oh my god, he was in the best one. Yeah, like even Vin Diesel has been arranged, but Dwayne Johnson seems to be playing the same character.
He's been playing Dwayne Johnson.
He's been playing himself for years. And I think a lot of people are like, are you going to do anything else?
And if I'm not wrong, he's the highest paid Hollywood actor.
He
as of,
is.
like a
The
while.
last, those
Couple
numbers
of
come
years,
out, I
yeah.
guess. I don't know. So he gets a lot of flack for it. And so do certain actors. Certain actors, being typecast is a nightmare for them because then they can never, ever escape that role. Like Daniel Radcliffe, who is in our hearts and minds as Harry Potter.
Yep.
And he will forever be known as Harry Potter.
The wizard.
The wizard with the weird birthmark. Or scar. Whatever it was. So
Yep.
he hated it, which is why I think when he finally broke out of Harry Potter,
Yep.
it was kind of funny. My favorite movie for him till now is that weird movie where he has like guns for hands. I don't even know what it was called.
I just like him in the clip as a drag queen or like a performer,
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's going on insane roles,
which is fun.
which is great for him, honestly. So, in that vein, hear me out. hot take alert. How come all the big title actors in Indian cinema are the same freaking guy, are the same freaking actor, the same character, not same actor, same character, same guy, and to that extent, every one of these movies are the same freaking movie. Why? I just want to know.
I think that the biggest difference is because
I'm asking you as the Hollywood expert.
I'm an expert now. I don't even think Indians consider me one of them. After
That's what makes you an expert. To be an expert,
my-
you cannot be among the sheep. You must rise above the sheep, which is just a really tall sheep
and be a goat. Ooh,
or a llama.
you will never let me have anything. But
You want to be a llama?
I want to be a goat.
You can be a goat.
Okay. So basically I would say that, remember in the previous episode that I shared that all these actors, they did start off with certain kind of roles that they played,
Yes.
like with Rajini being a villain and everything, and then blah blah blah.
Yes.
Vijay, for an example, started in a lot more like romantic movies, and that was his role, that was his vibe, which was fine. And even so, when he took the romantic character, like the romantic lead, I would say that it's still similar, but at least he was fine. I cannot defend because that was still, he was typecast as that. But then now when it comes to once you reach superstar tier,
Yeah.
in that once you
get
have a title card,
titled here.
yeah, once you have that, it becomes where the fans, people who go and watch the movie, some of them I would go to an extent to call them devotees of the actors even.
You're not that far off.
Yeah,
Honestly.
to be in all honesty, like
Mhm.
they tend to be the same thing because it's always the movies, first of all, the genre, and mind you, these actors are getting older, right?
Yes.
So but for whatever reason, they are still playing the action hero.
Yes.
The movies, the reason why you find it very similar is because all the movies like, you know, there is rom-com, there's comedy, there's horror. No,
Yes.
with all these actors, they are acting in one genre of movie, which is action.
Yeah,
It just
that's-
becomes an action movie.
That's my thing with a lot of these big releases, and it's because like every time I hear about Indian movies, like, have you seen the latest one?
Mhm.
I'm like, obviously no. Why are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Please leave me alone. We're in a bus. So like I would ask you about it, and then you go, oh yeah, it just came out. Here's the poster, and then it's like action movie number 407.
Yeah, because
It's always the same thing, and there's always a gang.
There's always a gang. So it doesn't matter if the lead actor is playing a cop, is playing the village guy, is playing the older brother, is playing the.
I'm not even kidding. It's like every time you give a character, I can already like assume what
He's-
the story is. It's like if the guy is a cop, he's the one non-corrupt cop in a wholly corrupt police station. If he's an older brother, either he or the younger brother or sister is in a gang, and he has to like pry the person out of the gang. He's always this unbelievably like heroic person, because it's always because they have this title, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the budget goes to this guy being like on the screen. He's what
Yeah.
you see. There's what you paid money to see this guy.
Yeah.
You're gonna see this motherfucker.
So you're going
Right.
to see this guy do a lot of things that a normal human can't possibly do,
Yeah.
because he is in that title tier, which means that in those, fine, don't tell me you have not watched like Hollywood action movies. You have. But and a lot of superhero, Marvel, DC, whatever, those are superheroes, might I add, that they have these super abilities. But
Yeah.
this is a regular guy, an older brother, a cop. You are
Yeah.
playing a regular role,
Just some guy.
but you will have the fighting ability than that of 10 men and that of a superhero.
Yeah, it's-
but you're a regular
Yeah.
dude.
And it's not to say that like regular people can't fight, but it's
Not
like
to that extent.
it's
I don't
like
think
to
so.
me, like the fighting of it is like, I can chalk it up to like style. It's like I'm gonna pull this shit straight out of like film studies, but it's like it's like the first one of the first few like samurai movies from Japan that are like black and white, and it was very very influential because of a special effect that actually went wrong.
Okay.
It's the scene where two samurai are facing off,
Okay.
and one wins, but they had like a blood pump system rigged to like spew blood as he dies,
Okay.
which is like dramatic. But what happened instead was they like something went wrong with the pump, and instead of like little spurts, little natural things of blood coming out, which is what you expect,
Yeah.
it shoots out blood, like it jets out.
Yeah.
But they kept it in the film because,
They thought
according
it
to the
looked cool,
director,
yeah.
they thought it was very dramatic because the scene is super tense,
Yeah.
and it's just two guys, like, they're just holding their swords in their sheaths,
Yeah.
and then they're standing still, and then the guy dies. Like they're both there standing still.
Yeah.
So with all that tension that build up, it just explodes. It seems like a weirdly natural way to portray like that tension being released,
Yeah.
which you have seen because blood gushes out everywhere. If you've seen an anime with violence in it,
Yeah. It's
blood gushes out,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, the reason why I bring it up is because like fighting is like a style. But for me, it's also, you don't just have fighting in a movie for the sake of fighting. It's a narrative device.
Mm-hmm.
But usually it means like overcoming an impossible odd. Which if you as a person do it alone, it's like you gain this ability through your hardship or whatever. More often than not, it's like it's a band of people who come
Okay.
together like as a community or as a team or as a squad, a suicide squad, if you may.
Where did Charlie go?
I don't know, it's lost in the stash. But like they are the ones that overcome the impossible odds, like the warriors.
Yeah.
Right? They're a group, they're a gang, and they come across and they fight a bigger gang. And ultimately everyone sucks because it's gang warfare.
Yeah.
But you have this one guy who doesn't seem to be doing much. And he's killing people left and right.
It could be
Seemingly
that
for
one
no
guy.
real
No, it's
purpose.
usually is you more than not. It's either to like in hero story vibes. It's to like defend the helpless kind of thing. That is the main
Yes.
thing. But this is one guy, and I'm not talking one against one. I'm not talking one against three. I'm not even talking one against 5, 10.
It's
I'm
one
talking
guy
one
against an
against
army.
50.
It
But
really-
he punches one guy, 10 will fly in 10
Yeah.
different directions.
it reminds me of this. It's another movie you made me watch. It was about like it was the guy who grew up in a gold mine or like a village gets turned into a gold mine.
KGF or something. Yeah,
Something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
And when you described it to me, I actually felt excited to watch because it sounded
The
like
storyline was quite like,
it sounded like, oh,
okay.
this guy was like wronged by the government, which
The
is always
system,
corrupt
yeah.
in India, like duh. But the point is like what I thought the point was that he enabled this village to operate on its own and then
Yeah.
it become a whole thing. But then the government's like, we don't like that.
Because
We're gonna-
you can't have a like your own thing. Yeah.
Bullshit, you're our property. So what I thought was that he was gonna lead the entire village to fight.
Yeah.
Because it seems appropriate, right? Like we from birth were fucked by the government to forever mine gold. But then
Yeah.
according to your leadership, we're like your solo leadership was like, yeah, no, we can fend for ourselves.
Yeah.
We run this mine. We
Yeah.
are the workers. We are the fucking proletariat. We will seize the means of production.
Yeah.
And it worked. But then the threat comes back. Empire Strikes Back, if you may.
Yeah.
Movie jokes. So I thought the plot in like the second part of the movie would be he can't do it because now he's old. They always get old, right? So-
the storyline not so.
Some like time progresses like
Yeah.
but I thought it'd be like either he gets old or they are stronger now and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can't face this shit alone. But the people rise up with me and then
Yeah.
we're gonna fight them together. But
Correct.
no, it's just him again. He just does it a second time.
Yeah, because for them it's like the amount of screen time the hero gets is practically the entire movie.
Yeah.
But okay, fair enough. He's the lead character. But now I'm telling you, like all these title actors, like that's the thing. If you have so much time, you took so much time and effort to get out of the slums, not for yourself alone, to raise an entire village.
Yeah.
To grow strong enough, but then when it's time to fight, and these people are willing to die for you because they are there to fend for
Yeah,
themselves.
That's the thing.
But no, it will just be you.
Yeah, there's
It will always
there's
just be you.
literally a phrase for it. Like it takes a village.
Yeah, but
Right? But
not in
no.
the Indian cinema. It's just the main
And I
guy.
think that's like the theme that I have. Well, not for all of them, because I really just don't like a lot of them because they're the same plot.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Recently, you made me watch a movie, an Indian cinema movie,
Yeah.
that you said was a little bit different.
Yeah.
To me, it was quite different from like your normal, your average Indian movie.
Yeah.
And like it compared to a lot of the movies that maybe watch, like the big blockbuster ones.
Yeah.
I had a pretty good time.
Okay, yeah. So this movie was actually called Anigan. It starred this actor called Dhanush. So specifically for Dhanush, he's been in the industry also for quite some time. But the difference is he doesn't have a title card. He's a phenomenal actor, and for those of you
just
guys
hasn't reached
watching,
that level yet.
he actually has been he has starred in Hollywood movies actually, like as not like the main 3 guys, but like maybe the main 5 people. He has been in this movie where it starred Chris Evans, Ryan Gosling, I finally remember her name, Ana de Armas or something.
Oh,
And okay, so she was the one of the leads in Knives Out. But
she was in Knives Out.
if I'm not wrong. So like Dhanush has actually broken out of the Kollywood industry. He's acted in a couple of Bollywood movies, but I'm talking about he's broke out of India to star in Hollywood films.
He escaped.
But till now, no, he still does movies and stuff.
Okay.
But the thing is, till now, the fact is when he is in a movie, the intro, it's Dhanush. There is no title card. That means he has not ascended to the tier of the title cards. Which is why when I was sharing with Fariz, if you have not ascended to the point where you have a title card, that just means that it's not that you're a bad actor or anything. It just means you have a lot more opportunities to star in films where the actual roles are vastly different, which means you have a more larger portfolio in terms of the roles that you have picked and played. And isn't that what being an actor is all about?
Yeah. So
like,
it's like, honestly, a lot of like the big movies out there really can be, like, I'm not even really exaggerating it. It can all be summarized as guy saves everyone. That's pretty much every big movie out there.
Yep.
But with this movie, because
the plot was very interesting.
It's like the plot had like
reincarnation
involved
in it.
And it was like it is basically these people are constantly once they die, they're always gonna reincarnate and they're always gonna find each other.
Yep.
Which is like, to me, I can't recall many movies that do that.
Yeah,
a lot of it becomes time travel.
Yeah, but to me, it's nice that they did that because Hindus do believe in reincarnation.
Yeah, there's that too,
which
right?
is like great. Like, okay.
What an interesting story. The movie ended up becoming a fucking rom-com, but it ended on a murder mystery.
Yeah. So the thing that Fariz said after watching,
it's fucking bizarre, dude.
Yeah, when you watch like specifically Anigan, he liked it because it was different. It tried to be different, and the fact that they explored that part of the reincarnation thing, which is very close to Hindus because they do believe in reincarnation. And this time, each time they're reincarnated, they're not reincarnated as dogs or slugs or whatever. They're reincarnated as humans, just as different people.
Yeah.
Like they're just people. Yeah. And the fun thing is that movie, I would say, the one where you shared was, the only other thing is that it was nice, it's different. Could have been done better if they focused a little bit more. But the idea was there.
They get an A+ for the idea. The concept of it was really great. It's just like the fact that I can say that, the fact that I can say that there was potential for it to be better. If it was just an hour shorter, if they didn't need to pad out the time, it could have been better. It's not something I can say for pretty much every big blockbuster Indian movie that I can think of.
Yeah.
Because it's always like, oh, obviously he's gonna keep running into problems. You need to pad it out for 3 hours. He can't save the day in Act 1. Yeah. Right?
Fair.
Like even though the answer is always violence.
Yeah.
It's just this violence wasn't enough. I gotta bring more violence later.
And the fresh take about violence, usually in Tamil movies, the fighting scenes are very
Oh my
very
god, yeah, this is like
similar.
one of my favorite bits about that movie.
Yeah, so one of the time, because once again, this Dhanush's character reincarnates, right? There is one time where he is reincarnated in one life where he was like a warrior, which means he fights. So,
Yeah, so like technically like the overarching story is that these people have been reincarnated for like thousands of years.
Yeah.
So we get little snippets of like medieval ages,
Yeah.
like the ancient kingdom ages.
yeah, then we have
And
the one.
they always find each other, which is cool.
And the fact that, and one thing that Fariz picked up, which I didn't pick up, this is only my second time watching the movie because I've only watched it once. And I remember having a conversation about this movie with other people, and unfortunately, not say all, but quite a number of them, they do not share the same views that I do with that particular movie. And in fact, they thought it was just like a...
It's a shame.
And
It's an absolute shame.
It's because for me, is that why do y'all not like movies that are like, just because it's a huge blockbuster, you like it, and half the reason you like it is because the
Some guy
title
is,
card actor is in
Yeah.
there. But these movies where they are bothering to try something different,
Yeah.
incorporating reincarnation part, and the fun part was right at the end during that fight scene. The certain stunts that he does before he fights is the same stunts he did when he was a warrior.
Which to me was freaking cool because I told you like halfway in the movie, which is like 2 hours, right? Which is like I gave you I physically said to you like I have a hate canon for this guy, which is not something I thought I would ever say for an Indian movie.
Mm-hmm.
Which is my hate canon was that the plot of this movie, which is saying like present time,
Yep.
is that the girl has memories of like her previous
Like
life.
visions in a sense.
Visions, yeah. And it to me it seemed like it was like only this reincarnation has it. It seems like every other one didn't really have it.
Yeah.
But that's the girl. She sucks. But my thing with the guy was that in every reincarnation that we see, he's like when he was like really early in time, he was like some barbarian warrior king. And he was like some Robin Hood character.
Yeah.
And then we see some reincarnations a bit earlier, like recent history, where he fights people. Because it's an Indian movie, yeah? There's gotta be violence somehow, right?
Fair.
So, but what I thought was that he's just some loser guy. He's not some big name. He's just a dude on the street, quite literally, right?
Like an ordinary guy,
He's just an
basically.
ordinary guy, but he still can fight. But to me, like, this one was cool because, like, every Indian movie has the thing. He's like, that's not a new thing. Some regular average nobody who lives on the streets can fight. Everyone can fight.
Yeah.
But this guy actually, to me, was like, oh, this guy, he can fight. Because
In his past life,
every time he reincarnates, he probably like keeps like the fighting skill
Ability,
and the abilities. So he has like thousands of years of experience in fighting.
Yep.
He just doesn't realize it. That's why he can kick ass and he murdered like 8 people.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like to me, this movie that no one ever said that according to you, everyone doesn't like or just doesn't really
Not
care
everyone,
about.
but yeah, a large group of
Right.
people, yeah.
This movie answered the question that virtually everyone on the planet makes a snide remark about.
Which is?
How come they can fight? He punched the guy flies somewhere.
Uh,
Well, this guy can. Because he has
Fair.
thousands of years of fighting fuckers.
yeah.
Non-stop for some reason.
I mean, it was a wartime, so it makes sense that
Yeah.
you either fight or you die.
That's the thing. So
Yeah.
it's like, this guy would know because he has so much like prior ability from it. And he just passes on to him with each reincarnation.
Yeah.
And that shit was awesome.
Yeah.
Like that shit was like, fuck yes. That makes me pumped up. Like it makes me feel like, and the best bit was at the end when like they had the stupid little CGI shot of like, oh, it was the warrior guy, it was the previous reincarnation, and they walked into the modern guy, and he's just a guy in a flannel shirt, just some loser in IT for fuck's sake. But like, to me, that blew my fucking mind. It was the hyper shit. It actually made me go, fuck yeah, I want this guy to fight and win because he's the product of all those years, of all those reincarnations.
To me, that's the...
Compared to some guy.
No, there are actors. For those of you watching, if you guys know, like Surya, for example, not the Malay channel, the Indian actor, Surya specifically, his roles also started. It could be action, it could be romance or what. But now because he's around Vijay's age, he's getting older, right? The kind of roles where he take it could be. There was one that I really liked where it was a more political movie. It got rated very highly on Amazon. But once again, it's sad because in the Indian industry, it didn't do that well. But the fact is that particular movie, there were so many YouTube and TikTok videos made about how that movie blew their minds because it had to do with him as a lawyer or on his journey at being a lawyer, and then the kind of cases where he takes, which is very real with all the rape cases in India.
Oh,
so with him trying to take, it is him also going up against the goons who rape those girls who have a power because they have money, they have that authority, and like those kind of story. Yeah, it's a bit more ordinary. Was there fighting? Of course, because it's still a Tamil movie. There's going to be people who attack him. He's going to fight. But the fact is that storyline, the overall plot, actually, it's a fresh take. Of course, it's not going to do well in Indian cinema because it's not a big blockbuster. Which is really sad because it's a good movie.
Which to me is like the paradox, right? Which is the more you climb the ladder to earn a title, which no doubt is a goal for them as actors. Like there's like their career progression, right? Like you wanna go out much better than when you came in.
Fair.
And it's like fair enough, right? But to me, it just seems like with better actors, with better technology, with better production crews and everything.
Yeah.
Like I'm not saying that these are bad movies. They're well made. Their sound design is fucking top tier. It's shot well.
They got a lot of budget for the music.
The musical dancers are.
I mean, you have seen the set, the one when I made him watch Beast, and then there was this song that was called Arabic Kutu, which was a very big TikTok trend.
What was Beast? Was that the shopping mall?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was this title sequence, there's this song sequence where they look like they were in a set. It was very Middle Eastern.
Yes.
Like the entire set, the amount of dancers that they have. Like when it comes to Bollywood, Hollywood, whatever, the Indian cinema, they don't skimp out on those music videos.
That's the thing. I'm not saying that these movies are bad on a production level because they're well made. They're very big scenes.
Yeah.
Action scenes, like I clown on them a lot, but it's not an easy thing to do, to coordinate all that shit, to choreograph the fight scenes.
Yeah.
To make people fly means you need like I forgot what the cable pulleys are to make them actually fly. It's hard. Making a movie is hard. Making an Indian movie is even fucking harder.
Yeah.
And like I'm not giving you're not giving them any flack on that respect.
Yeah.
But my issue is that as they get bigger, and because these are big movies, they're the biggest budgets out there.
Yeah.
As all of these things increase, their level of creativity severely decreases.
Because it's just the same
it seems like the higher you climb, like film
your roles are the same. You're just playing you at that point of time. Not really you, but like your title card.
Your character.
Your status is been anything like.
It's like the higher these things climb, and like they are more recognized on a global scale. I think Triple R, or is it RRR?
Yeah, that was a Bollywood movie.
Was released quite big. It was
they won an
received
Oscar
quite
for their
well.
song.
Yeah, like on a global scale.
Yeah.
And that's great for them, like all more power to you.
Yeah.
But it seems like the more power and the more budget you get, the lesser you have when it comes to creative liberties.
Yeah.
Like it becomes like, how many times can you make this movie without getting bored? Because
you
it seems
see that,
like,
but it just seems to be pumping out each time.
Yeah,
like
that's the thing.
It's so it's very limiting, which is why like come at me, especially because I'm an Indian, all you guys want. But tell me, the last couple, the 10, 20 years even of Rajini movies, minus that one which he tried to do, he played the hero, but at least there was storyline. It was a bit of a horror concept, so quite nice. Minus that, I'm talking about Chandra Mugi, that one. Minus that, tell me the last 10 to 20 years. I'm talking 1 to 2 decades of Rajini movies. Tell me the movie plots are not the same. Wait, there was another one also. It was also a very big budget. They call Aishwarya Rai. Yendiran. He plays not just the creator of the robot, he plays the robot also.
Oh, I think you made me watch that one.
I don't think
It was
watched
confusing.
it. I
I watched something about it.
Something,
It was
yeah.
weird.
Yeah, he played like an artificial intelligence in that
Yeah,
sense. And this was like in 2010.
It was fucking bizarre.
So and then and the other question that like Fariz always has for me, it's India is not a small country, both in size and in quantity of people.
Yes.
So when I told Fariz like, hey, sometimes in movie, for case in example, a goat, even this being a movie that's
Actually,
coming out.
you know what? While we're at it, can you, like, on the topic of artistic integrity, what could you read? What is the synopsis of Go?
Okay.
We are 30 minutes into the episode, but let's bring
Okay.
it up now.
After years of successful operations, an elite agent suddenly retires, choosing a quiet, ordinary life. However, when a past mission comes back to haunt him, he reunites with his team to prevent a catastrophic disaster. That was something, it's a bit more similar to Beast, because Beast, he played an ex-RAW agent, which is like special forces kind of thing.
Okay.
Like, yeah, and he has played a couple of police roles where also he tried to choose the simple path and then like blah blah
They
blah.
always get
It's the
sucked
same
in.
thing. The reason why I'm bringing up goat, the point I'm trying to make is goat, and I'm talking about the population is because goat, he plays a father
I guess,
and son.
yeah.
He plays
that
a
wasn't
dual.
in the synopsis, was it?
No, it doesn't.
Huh.
But yeah, I mean the posters, and they already released one music video, and then we were like, why is Vijay looking young? It's not just makeup. The CGI looked very weird. It's the kind where the fans start to complain and they change it a little bit, right? So like it doesn't look off like weird. Mind you, in Hollywood, Will Smith has played a role in a movie Gemini Man. So Gemini Man is also the same thing, but Gemini Man, the story is different because they use Will Smith's DNA to make the younger, more stronger Will Smith character. But this movie, he plays father and son. Question Fariz has for me was to like, there's so many people in India. Why do these actors keep playing like double, triple roles? When I told him Kamal Hassan in the movie Dasavadaram has played 10 roles, and he was like, oh, you mean like James McAvoy in Split where he has personalities? I was like, no, 10 distinct roles. And he was like, did they not have budget to hire
like
other people?
India, you are now, I think, as of now, you are like the most populated nation on the planet. Y'all have like, what, 3-4 billion people? And I know for a fact, many of them need jobs, right? Don't fuck me. Y'all can hire more actors.
Yeah.
Like, really, you got one guy playing 10 different characters in one movie. So it's like, was it hard? Was it impossible to find 9 more extras?
No, they rather spend money on prosthetics, on making the guy look like a Japanese man, a white man.
You show me a screenshot of one of them as a Chinese man.
That was a Japanese character.
Oh, he was an Indian man cosplaying as a Japanese man, and like I thought it was from like a YouTube indie horror movie.
No,
it was bad. It was horrible. Like whatever money you saved by not hiring 9 more actors was not worth it.
And once with this,
what the fuck?
With you sharing about actors, I would like to share just one small thing about actresses specifically in movies.
Oh wait,
is
this when I read the scripted bit?
No. Do you want to? Can I just go into it?
So, Hana, you said that you've told me and the audience that there are many actors with titles, but how come it seems that all of them are male?
That was painful.
Where are the female titles?
Good God. He took up like 2 minutes just reading them. But basically, in the Tamil industry, there's no such thing as female titles. They don't get their title intros whatsoever. And the reason why I want to point it out, and that's my problem with the Indian cinema from when I was young. Number one, the fact is, when you think about an old actress like Meryl Streep in Hollywood, she still plays lead roles. She still plays badass. She can play someone's mom, but that movie could be situated around her as a mom, for example, which means that still makes her the main character. in Tamil industry, I would care to say even Bollywood, just in Indian cinema in general.
I think
The
you could say that
problem
in
is,
general, honestly.
women actually have a shelf life. Okay, they treat women like flight attendants in that sense. I can't say air stewardess. Flight attendants.
Is that a proper term for it?
Yeah, flight attendants. They don't use the word
Stewardess?
stewardess. They find it. I don't know why they find it offensive, but okay.
Oh.
So basically, they have a shelf life in terms of that when they are young and they're peak and ripe of their age, I guess, where they still look a certain way, they are casted as the heroines. Mind you, earlier on I shared that, like in the previous episode, I shared that Rajini is pushing 70. He's playing a hero, right? Vijay is pushing 50. He's still playing a hero, right? They are actresses when they were acting out in their 20s, and now that they are in their 50s to 70s, they are actresses, their partners in the movie are still actresses in their 20s. Okay, so which means the actress has kind of like a shelf life of, like, I would say 18 to 30. 30, I'm even being a bit lenient.
It's when their bosoms are nice and ample, firm and right.
Yeah, and that, to me, what sucks further when it comes to women in the Indian industry, not only is the whole shelf life part. When we were talking about the movie Anigan, when I was showing you the lead actress that was playing alongside Dhanush, number one, she can't even speak the language, which means it's fully dubbed. Number two, she's not the only person in the Indian cinema where they cast the fresh-faced heroine beside an actor where they can't speak the language, because a majority of heroines in that sense, during their time in acting, their voices are all dubbed because they can't speak the language or they can't fluently speak it. The actors, however, is their voice because they can speak the language. They are dubbed and they're solely hired for the fact that they're fair. I have to emphasize the fair part of it, because India, you need to wake the fuck up when it comes to that. That was like very personal. And the other thing is that they hire them mainly just is solely for their looks. I can tell you take their characters out of the movie, doesn't make a difference.
Oh, easily. Because for me, I like to look at these movies like with an objective, subjective viewpoint, non-biased, right?
Objective.
Which means, like, sometimes I go into film student mode and I start dissecting a movie on a technical level.
Yeah.
I do that just without paying attention. I just do that, and I do that for everything that I watch.
Yeah.
It got me in particular because watching a couple of movies, I realized that their mouths don't sync up with their voice.
Yeah.
And then when I brought it up,
voice, yeah.
and I brought it up to you, I said it was like, what a stupid like editing mistake. Like, they couldn't even get the VO to like match up. And then you told me a very, very big point, which is, oh, that's not the same person.
Yeah, it's not their voice.
And then I had the audacity to go, what the hell do you mean?
Yeah.
And then you carried on.
And I shared with you about the whole dubbing process for like the actresses that they use, and the actresses who eventually, because maybe let's say they speak Hindi, for example, and they don't know Tamil, but they've been in the industry and they've been starring in a good couple of Tamil movies, eventually they'll pick up the language and stuff. But not till much later, if they are lucky, that their actual voice will still be used for the movie, because some people associate this actress with this voice, and that's not even the voice of that actress. And another fun fact to share is that there are some voice actors, right, who dub for multiple heroines. So that means, let's say, like, I am doing your voice, like in this movie, right, and maybe a couple of other movies, but I'm also at the same time using my voice for another 3 different actresses, because I've got such a good voice.
So, those...
I'm not sure if they are credited.
So, okay, this is a genuine question I now have, because I didn't...
You didn't know that, yeah.
You didn't go like that far when we were talking about it.
I don't say, I just came to mind. Yeah.
Does that mean like they are credited? Like, do they ever appear on screen?
No.
So
we are lucky if we know them in terms of like the end credits, I guess. But you can ask them like, hey, do you know this actress name? Yeah, I do. Do you know this person's name? Why? Who is she? Turns out that could be the voice act. Once again, it's because the fact that they're not just voicing one actress throughout their time in recording Tamil, filming Tamil films. They could be the voice for 2, 3, 4 other people.
So that means So that means like there are VAs in
Yeah.
Indian cinema.
Definitely. And a lot of times for me is like when you use a voice actor in terms of, because now Indian cinema, they have are doing this thing now where they are dubbing it in many languages.
Yes.
Where like the RRR, for example, it was originally filmed in Hindi. The voice actors, the actors basically, they maybe can speak a couple of dialects, but that movie was released in Tamil, Hindi, Malayalam, Telugu, and Kannada, 5 different languages actually, if I'm not wrong. So when it came out, it's a bit hard. Maybe not all of them can speak the 5. So for some movies, there is the dubbing done,
Yeah.
but the filming is still done in that one language, Hindi.
It honestly sounds like dubbing is a normal
It's a thing. Fair
happens
enough.
all over.
You watch anime
But-
and it could be taken in Japanese, and then there's the English
But
voice actors,
then
right?
it comes into account that if the original actors was dubbed, like the original recording, if it was in Hindi, and the actors on screen never had a voice and it was dubbed in Hindi, then it's like, so women don't even have
A voice.
they quite literally do not have a voice
Yeah, and
in
a lot of times
in anything in
people
India.
tend to
Like-
forget that, like when they have like a movie audio launch, a special audio launch where the actors and all that attend those events. When the time comes for the female actress to talk on stage, for example, she's always talking in English, because if she speaks, let's say maybe that actress can speak Telugu, but that crowd is mainly Tamil speaking, they may not understand. So she just speaks in English. The lead actor on the other hand speaks in Tamil. They don't do the dubbing thing unless it's a different language that they're dubbing it for. The actors use their voice.
It just seems like
I don't know.
I get
I just feel like, why can't you hire? I'm sorry, but no, I'm not actually. Why can't you hire, like if you're doing a bloody Tamil film, why can't you hire a Tamil speaking actress? Oh, I'm sorry, because once again, these actresses have a shelf life, and in that shelf life, they need to check all the boxes in terms of whether are they good looking enough, whether are they this, and that's all that I feel like they are judged. And then when he watched Beast, specifically Beast, remember the heroine that she was in that movie?
for 5 minutes.
Where do you see her more? With him doing solo bits, or with the other actors when they were trapped?
Oh, don't get me started. I don't think any Indian movie in the history of mankind will ever pass the Bechdel test, which is the I wanna say it's the Bechdel test. The Bechdel test is the test given to any movie. Like it can apply to any movie.
Okay.
And the test, in theory, is actually very simple. 2 named characters, 2 named female characters in the movie, just need to have one, not a bunch, one conversation with each other that is not about men.
Oh, I think I've heard of that before.
Everyone knows about it.
Okay,
And it is astonishing how many movies fail.
which
the
is
test.
so sad, because it is actually true. But the thing is that this is even more so in the Tamil industry, because I feel that when it comes to at least, and specifically this is Bollywood, like I'm talking about actresses, the one I've mentioned to you before, like Deepika,
Oh, yeah.
and all that. When you do see her having dialogues, you do see her having her main character moment, you do see her having her screen time. But when you watch Beast, the actress name was Pooja something, but she also doesn't speak Tamil, by the way. Not surprising. But
We've established that.
yeah. So but when you see Pooja, for example, if you take her out of the movie, and the fact is that she didn't play his wife, she played the love interest and all, and you take her out, what did she really change to the story?
That's the thing.
The actor that he enjoyed in Beast was actually, I can't remember the actor's name, forgive me. The Indian actor, the short comedian
the
guy.
security guard.
The main
character,
guy,
I think.
the main guy who runs the security
Yeah.
thing. His roles in the movie and all that, like the punchlines, the dialogues he was given, actually kind of oh, okay.
I felt
Like,
bad for him. He was just a comic relief character, and that was the best character in the movie by far.
And that's the thing, at least you remember him. What about her? Take her out. What again does it do?
The only thing I remember about her was after the intermission, I was like, where the fuck is this lady?
Yeah, not because he's out there solo rescuing the entire mall of people who have been captured by terrorists.
Yeah. And then it's like, I just realized that movie's just Die Hard. It's just Die Hard but with a car.
A car that drives through one platform and another platform in a mall that the middle is just the space.
So like I just want to get back to the point about how women are just like not only like their roles in these movies glorified like damsel in distress or just sex appeal the person. Like to when you made me realize that these women, like majority of them, if not all of them, that we see on screen, they don't even have like that voice, right? That they are hired solely for their looks and then their voice comes later.
Yeah.
For me, then it's like so what is it then? Because from the start, you told me that like I would get crucified because I just generalized everything as Bollywood, but Bollywood is one specific language. Hollywood is a specific language. I forgot the other ones.
It's okay.
Like there's so many different distinguishing factors that make each one of these movies a specific what would film, right?
Yeah.
What's the point of all this diversity? What's the point of so much protection, so much gatekeeping about this? It's not Bollywood, it's Tollywood or whatever. Jollywood. Isn't it Jollywood?
No.
Is that a Jollibee?
No.
So like what is the point of having all of this gatekeeping? So much like defense against these people who like no, it's not this, it's that. It's not that, it's this.
Mm-hmm.
When your own people in the movie, they don't even have voices.
Yeah.
They don't even speak the language they're in. If the person hired can only speak Hindi but the movie is in Tamil, why do you gatekeep it so much to Tamilness when the actress's voice is literally not even heard?
Yeah.
What is the point of any of this? Like the stories don't make any sort of like appeal anymore because it's just hero.
Yeah, but
hero.
That's what sells. That's what it seems like the collectively what Indians want because that's what they end up going
then
for.
a bunch of like people our age, like those little boys and men. You know what the fuck I'm talking about, all right? Your entire personality is changed just to fit this one character, which, hey, Chekhovs, is the same guy, all right? Collar popping, like loud mouth flannel shirt, wearing
sunglasses,
the gelled
thing.
up hair, then the mustache goes up to the side. You're the same fucking guy, all right? Every fucking year, some new movie comes out, and then your whole personality revolves around this new character. Guess what, douchebag? It's the same fucking guy. You have not changed at all. Grow personality. And for the women, find your voices.
It's India. It's going to be really hard.
But not loud enough that you get raped in the streets, I guess.
But yeah, that's our take basically on the whole Bollywood industry. It's actually a nice way to call it the Bollywood paradox.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was a good introduction to our new show.
It's like what high
octane, hot takes.
Yeah.
A lot more yelling, I think.
Yeah, because we're both very passionate people.
You're damn right. So anyway, I just wanted to wrap up this episode. Now we're coming to an end with an important question for you.
Okay.
Just to make sure we leave our audience off on a nice little note. It's not heated up and like angry or whatever.
Maybe this when they just stop.
Or they're gonna get even angrier to ask this question, which is
mind you, I have no idea what he's going to ask because he specifically said he's not going to tell me.
Correct. So I mean, it's not like we script this shit.
Yeah.
But so knowing that what we just talked about with big actors, big actresses, and all that shit.
Okay.
All right, all these things.
Where's this
So
gonna go?
here is a somewhat honest question. Do you think if a big title level Bollywood actor, and when I say Bollywood, I mean the general industry.
Yep.
Do you think if they did out of nowhere, they just made a porn, would it be shunned or would they become a billionaire because of their status?
A 70-year-old guy's dick on screen. I'm not sure. It's a very good question because would they be shunned? Yes, also because it's the Indian culture and like these are considered like it's very
Yes.
But at the same time it's the title cut. Yeah.
My argument is like clearly these movies are meant and are geared towards men because of what they are, right? They're action movies. men, hear me out. Hot take. Men be horny. So, and these people idolize, like a lot of men and women idolize these men. So if that big title actor started a porn, it's like nothing controversial.
You know, honestly,
it's just a regular porno.
Yeah,
it's a regular vanilla porno.
But that's the thing. I think it cannot be a regular porno. I think it will be successful if their characters did the porn. They are acting as their characters. You get my point? Flannel shirt and everything.
I didn't think of that.
Shades and all.
I didn't think of that.
Yeah, you will have so many boys and men.
Boys.
Oh, do men really grow up? No. But like there are so many men and boys, I would think, that would go and watch that specifically. Like the characters that they idolize so much.
So in your opinion, like if the actor did it, it's like, would they be shunned though? If it was just like Rajinikanth does a porno. Rajinikanth just has sex with like some lady. Like that would be like bad. But if Rajinikanth had sex with a lady as
his character,
as a character, you think that would be awesome?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah.
Alright, I gotta write a couple of emails. So that was a fucking weird roller coaster, a two-parter of all things of an episode.
Yeah, right at the start of this new thing, we just already did 2 parts.
Yeah, it is a hell of a start. We're gonna be making a lot more of these. This was fun.
Good to be back.
It's great to be back. It's fun to be back on the internet spouting my bullshit and sorts. So in case you forgot, this has been the Public Access Rundown with me, Fariz, and my co-host.
What was my name? Do you remember?
Indian Lady number 3.
Oh, can I just tell them like thank you for watching, but can you do the dubbing for me?
Alright.
Okay. 3,
Okay.
2, 1.
Fuck off, you cunt. Alright, bye.